and welcome back. Today's video is going to be my January wrap up. So this month, let me tell you, not doing a TBR for the month has probably been the best decision that I could have made for myself. I was able to finish 6 books this month. Yay! So I'm so excited. So let's get into it. First, I'll start with the one audiobook that I read. Well, no, that's not true. The one book I only read in audio version. There we go. That's probably more correct. And that is Calibans War, which is the second in the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. Got it right this time. And in this story, we actually are introduced to a few more perspectives, which were really exciting. We are following Bobby, who is a Martian Marine, whom we actually open the book. I believe we open the book with her whole perspective. And then we also still follow James Holden, of course, but we're also following Proximity Mung, who is a botanist on Ganymede. And then we're also following Christian Alvasarola. Oh gosh, I butchered it. Ugh. And she is like the most badass woman in the entire, well, she is one of many badass women in this book, and I love her character. And I don't really know what her title is, but she's very important for the Earth and the Earth Council. Anyway, so we are following all these different perspectives while we're learning what happens on Venus, and there's intrigue and backstabbing, and it's just so fast-paced. There's, especially the last 2 hours, I think it was like 2 to 3 hours of the book are just non-stop action the entire time, and I loved it. And as you may have seen in some of my attempts at vlogging, my next read, well, this was actually my first read of the year, which started my year off great, was This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Mohar and Max Gladstone. And this, we're following 2 time agents from rival factions who are going into different periods of time and space and trying to alter things so that their side gets the advantage. And then one day, one of them starts deciding to write a letter to the other. And it's just them writing letters back and forth to each other and the growing relationship between the two. And I just absolutely loved this story. And I actually gave this book 5 stars. I loved it. I'm actually probably going to reread it in March. I don't care. I can't wait to reread it, so I'm excited. And then the next book, so I decided to follow along with the Buzzwordathon challenge for this month. And this word, and the word challenge for this month was dream. So the book had to have the word dream in the title. And so I was like, you know what? I want to read the Raven Cycle. So for some reason, I thought the Dream Thieves was first, but it's not. So in order for me to get my buzzword, because I was determined to read the begin the Raven Cycle. So in order to get to my Buzzword-a-thon book, I had to read the first in the series, which is the Raven Boys. So in this book, we meet a group of 4 boys who go to this crazy fancy prep school in the small little Virginia town, and it follows them doing research on ley lines and magical happenings. And they decide to meet with a psychic, and then the psychic's daughter happens to have met them at a pizza shop or whatever. And so it's all about them all kind of coming together to try and figure out what this ley line is. And then, you know, as the story unfolds, there are other people that you discover that are also trying to figure out this whole mystery and magic with the ley lines. And so then we come into the Dream Thieves. These are all by Maggie Stiefvater. Gosh, I'm just butchering names left and right today. And this story actually follows more of the main character of Ronan, which it's funny because that is like the one character that I am not connecting as much with. I don't know if it's because I've been doing a mixture of audio and physical with these books, and so I don't know if it's just something like the person who is reading the book for the audiobook. I don't know if it's just like the voice that he's doing for Ronan that I'm not connecting with, but that is like a standard complaint that I have seen on other Goodreads reviews, is that is like the one character that they're not really connecting with. His whole concept of what he can do is really cool. So I'm kind of interested to see where he progresses more, because he's so we meet somebody else in the story that can do the same thing that he can do, but they're not exactly what he is. So I'm excited to see like more development into what exactly he can do. And so so the story is mainly his story. Yeah, with a few interspersed other things, but so that was really cool. I gave both of those 4 stars, I believe. The Dream Thieves would probably be just a little bit less, mainly because, like I said, this was his book and I wasn't really connecting with him. But either way, I'm excited to continue on with the series. And then the next book is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. This book, where do I even begin? I know I went on a whole little tangent in the last vlog that I did. Where do I begin? So this story, it actually follows 2 perspectives. It follows Rick Deckard, who is a bounty hunter who hunts down and decommissions androids that illegally come to Earth from Mars. It is set in a world where a vast majority of the world has left Earth to colonize out into Mars and space due to the living conditions of the planet, which are crap. And so due to those living conditions, it has caused people to become what they term special or chicken heads, which is such a terrible term, I feel. And so that's the other perspective that we follow, is one of these special people called John Isidore. And he's just a regular dude who drives a van for a fake vet clinic. And so this whole story is about the fact that these 8 androids have fallen to Earth And the main bounty hunter has gotten injured while hunting down these 8. He took out 2 of the androids, but he got injured in the process, and so now Rick Deckard has to take over for him. And during this whole, I think it's really only like 1 or 2 days. Like it's a really short time frame that this story occurs over. And during that time frame, it's like so many questions are brought up about, is there a way to distinguish between androids and humans? Is it right to kill these androids? Am I an android? You know, so the one thing that this book did for me is it solidified my stance on artificial intelligence and the creation of androids, which is, no, let's not do this. There's so many moral questions that come into play when doing this, and I just don't think it's right. That, and the last thing we need is artificial intelligence to become like sentient, and just no, Dave, no. So I ended up giving that book a 4-star. I actually did, I attempted to physically read this book, but I did not enjoy it as much. The audiobook was so perfect. I highly recommend the audiobook to do that. I gave it 4 stars. It raised a lot of questions for me. I can definitely see why this is like a classic must read in the sci-fi genre. And then for my last book, which we actually picked for my family's book club, we did This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. And this is the first in the Monsters of Verity duology. And this book was so good. It was so fast-paced. It was so quick, easy, very enjoyable to read. And we are also following 2 perspectives in this story. One, we are following August Flynn, who is a monster who wants to be human. And then we follow Kate Harker, who is a human but wants to be ruthless and vicious and just take over, sort of a thing. And so we follow both their stories until they meet, and there's backstabbing and betrayal on both sides. There was some really kind of sad parts that like really truly bummed me out, but it was also it also raised a lot of like good commentary questions on what constitutes a monster, because some of those humans are more monster than I think the monsters are themselves. So this was just, it was so quick, it was so easy, I super enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I don't think I had anything lower than a 4-star this month. This month was like a shining star for me. Just so bright, so happy, so many good enjoyable books. Like, I don't know, it was like because I didn't feel the pressure of like, I have to read all these books because I put it out into the world that I'm going to read all these books, and then I'm gonna just get discouraged and hate on myself because I didn't read all the books I said I was going to read. And so I feel because of that, you know, I made my own private TBR, and if I got to it, I got to it. If I didn't, I didn't. Didn't put the self-imposed pressure on myself, and I was able to get 6 books read. Yeah, I'm really pumped. This was such a good month. What a great way to start off my year, and I am so excited to keep on reading. So yeah, let me know if you have read any of those books below, and if you liked them, if you didn't like them, why not? And I will see you all in the next one. All right, bye.